Good morning, students. My name Professor Neha Dave. Today we'll be just wind it up with the chapter what we have discussed into the last lecture. Now already the thing is what we have discussed into the last lecture regarding to the constitution, what is constitutions, and even we have discussed about so much different types of points related with rights to an education. Now already into the last into the last session we have already discussed about it when the constitution has been came, and then afterwards when the independence was there. After the independence, the thing is the constitutions was set up and certain provisions was related to the certain kind of rights which was given. So already there was so much into the constitution, there are different types of rights was there. Okay, different types of right was there. So on that time, the thing is what they have given the more priorities to the education. So into this part of sessions we have discussed into the session that the thing is what right to an education makes a very much importance to each and every particular zone. And the thing is what without education part, and the thing is what the provisions, there were so much of different type of provisions were set up. Certain session was placed, and with the help of the sessions, the thing is what each terms and conditions was deprived. So there was a very much importance which was given by schools, teachers, and even to the other rights related to the people who have been disability, the people who are into the weaker section, minority section, linguistic sessions. There was a different type of concept, whatever the thing was there, that all the concept we have discussed into the last session. Today the thing is what we'll be discussing the session 31. Already into the last we have discussed so many different type of sessions. We got to know the clear-cut idea about the sections also, and why the thing is the section was made, because according to this provision only the thing is what the schools will be run, and according to this the thing is what the related with education and related with their rights, it will be given the very much importance. So now the thing is what we'll be discussing section 31. Now what section 31 says about? The National Commission or the State Commission for the Protection of Child Rights constitute under the Commission of Protections of the Child Rights Act 2005 shall, in addition to the function assigning to monitor, inquire into the complaints related to children's rights to free and compulsory education and the functions of an applicant authority above the local authority. Now whatever the thing is, here they have been clubbed two sessions, that was section 31 and section 32. What it is being said about it, the National Commission or State Commission for Protecting of Child Rights constitute under the Commission of the Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. Now the two commissions was they have been planned, national and state level. They both came and they both participate, and finally the thing is what they've produced, they've constituted, they have made certain provisions related to the protection of the child rights. That was the Act of 2005. They have been made. Into this, what are the things they used to look after? To monitor, okay, whatever the functions was going on related with the child. Second, if there is any kind of complaints related to any kind of child, because if already it has been said now, there should be strictly prohibited with you should not harass the students, okay, till he is into the elementary education related. So like this thing should not be there. So that is why this care should be taken. So like these two commissions will be taking care related to any kind of complaints which is related with children. Rights to free and compulsory education functions as an applicant authority above the local authority, and even there whatever the rights, if it has been affected, so that also will be constitute on that time. So according to the local authority and according to the applicant authority, the thing is what each terms and conditions will be specified, and according to that the thing is what they will be running with the help of the Protection Act. So that is why this type of act has been described. Now already there are so many different acts also. Free and Compulsory Act 2009 we have been studied. Now this the thing is they have been read with the right to education also they have been there. Protections to the Child Right Act 2005 means you can see there are so many different rights which has been protected to the children. Why? Because to give the education, to give the more importance to the education, because if the thing is what, if all the things and if we take the care of the children, so finally the thing is what, if such provisions are been applicable to the children, so ultimately the thing is what, there won't be any kind of person who won't give the children education, it won't be like that. So ultimately the thing is, that is why this all provision it has been kept. So ultimately to each and every children is the thing is what this type of acts related the thing is provisions will be accepted. So these are the different type of an applicant authority. According to the applicant authority, all terms and conditions are been given. Next it is what section 33 says about it. Speaks of the National Advisory Committee. According to 33, speak of a National Advisory Council. If there is any kind of talk related to any kind of provisions related, you can have a word with the speak with the National Advisory Council. Next 34 says about it, speak of the state advisory councils and their functions. We have this also where national also and state level also, and related to any kind of functions, if you want to have a word, you can have the word with that. But why? Because the thing is what they'll be giving the equal rights related to children, and even the thing is what they'll be explaining the thing is what, and they'll look after each and everything, they'll monitor each and everything, and that is why the thing is what the children rights won't be getting affected. So that is why this is all section it has been given. We'll go ahead with the next slide also. Now, according to section 35, the appropriated governments may issue the guidelines and give the directions to the local authority or a school managing committee. Now, already you might be aware with the SMC, already we have discussed into the last session. So on that time we have been seen about it, how the school managing committee on that time whatever the guidelines will be given by the appropriated governments, means they whatever the problems it has been there, or else if new guidelines has been issued, so ultimately the thing is what the committee and the thing is to the local committee, the thing is what it will be directly directed to the school committee by the appropriated government, to the appropriated government only. The thing is what this type of committee related, they'll be having interaction, they'll have a talk related to this, because whatever the guidelines here I've already discussed to it, like when the teacher it is getting recruited, if the vacancy place is there and if the teachers is getting recruited, so finally for that also the guidelines will be given by the government. So from the government only the teacher will be getting recruited. So here also whatever the committees are being placed into any kind of schools or any kind of institution, so on that time only the thing is what the government will be giving a certain guidelines, and with the help of that guidelines the thing is what the committee should run, the school will be running according to that part of requirement. Now there is section 36, no prosecution for offence without previous sanction of the appropriated authority. If certain issue has been conducted, so directly the thing is what, it won't be getting any kind of offences, it won't be given to any kind of prosecution till the time the thing is what appropriated authority, means from the government person who is running related to this part of council, till the time that person doesn't come and they doesn't speak related to that particular matter, the thing is what no any kind of offences won't be served on that time. So without previous sanctions, you need to have a sanctions with the appropriated governments, and after that the thing is what the case will be going ahead, or till the time the sanction it is not there, so other no offences will be penalized. Section 37, no suit or legal proceeding shall lie against action taken into the good faith. So if there is any kind of suit, it is what a case. If there is any kind of case, so directly the case cannot give the proper way of answer till unless and until if the proper action has been not taken. And once the thing is the proper action, whatever it has been taken should be there into the good faith. Why it should be good faith? Because the thing is what, if there is any kind of person who are innocent, so that innocent person should not get certain kind of penalized or any offences. So that is why whatever the decisions will be there, you need to look after related to this, that if whatever the answer related to certain kind of case should be taken into the good faith with the help of the getting out all the legal proceeding, and then after following out all terms and conditions, then afterwards you need to have words related to this. Section 38, appropriated government may make rules for carrying out the provisions of this act. Now here there is appropriated government may makes the rule. He only makes the rules relating to carrying out with the provision of this act, because government only it has been, why the act it has been prepared. Okay, already we have been seeing free compulsory act, Second, we have been on Protection Act right now, related to certain years. Okay, on that particular year, the thing is the bill was passed, and finally the thing is what, to certain schools, certain children, for all the children, the thing is this provision wasn't applicable. So that is why to take care. Why the thing is what, according to section 38, what it is being saying about it, the government, whatever the thing is, the rules he is been keeping out relating to certain provisions to be followed by each and every individual. But whatever the appropriated governments will be give the rules, whatever it will be given, that only will be followed in true and a fair way. Okay, we'll go to the next slide also. Now, your schedule now into, now see, whatever we have been discussed about the, when the on independence, once we got an independence on 47, finally slowly and steadily the thing is what, in 1950, the Republic Day what we have celebrated, because on that day the constitution was already made. But constitution was already made before in 1930, but the thing is what, this they have given the certain transformation finally in 1950. Finally the thing is what, the into the Republic Day the constitution was passed. Means what are the constitution says about it? The provisions related to the citizen who are being staying here, so for them there is a certain kind of provision. So that is why with the help of that part of only provisions, the thing is what, it has been discussed. Now into this provisions, the major impact was given to the right of an education. Till the time of, once we got an independence, we was waiting till it, we got a 60 years of it. Finally the thing is, till the time of that particular year, the thing is what, we was not getting an accurate way of information, because the students was not given, the children was not given that part of education, because the importance was not given to the education. So slowly and steadily government thought about it, because if children won't be studying, so ultimately the thing is what, there won't be poverty, won't be decreasing. So that is why the thing is what, this education gives the major benefits, that because of the children, they will get educated. Second part, they'll start with their own stuff. They can start with their own business, and even the thing is, with the help of this learning section, the thing is what, they will develop their skills also. So that is why this type of action has been taken, this type of provision has been given more priorities related to the education part. So that is why slowly and steadily government thought about it, that moving into this part of it, we have kept this part of provision, but still the people are not aware about the education must. These people are taking very leniently related to education. So that is why they are not serious about the education. They are not aware with the importance. So that is why government thought about it. Let us start with slowly and steadily, with the help of schools, with the help of the schools, give them the bins, and certain ages also here it has been given to it, till the age of like 14. The thing is, each and every children should get an education, because after till the age of 14, the thing is, it comes in minority. The student should not work in certain kind of factories or any kind of mine, and if certain particular still he had not got any study till the 14. So finally the thing, government also plays one more thing, that give them the special training, and finally the thing is, let's first complete his elementary education, and once he is complete with the elementary education, then afterwards finally he can do his own work. But slowly and steadily even government thought about it to start up their schools, start up certain institutions and all. Even Anglo-Indians was also given certain kind of priorities. Means there was different type of provisions they have been set up, and with the help of that provisions as they have been set up, the thing is what, the education finally slowly and steadily the thing is, it given the importance. Even schools related also it was given, even the teachers related also provision it was discussed, that the teacher should properly qualified, because when the thing is what, the teachers it has been recruited, so either you take a proper way of qualified teachers, or else you can take a B.Ed students who can come and who can give this proper way of training. So that is why the thing is what, our country objectives will be clear, because as the objectives will be clear, finally the thing is, the standard of the living of the people will be also changes. So that is why this type of priority it is given more and more. Now here already schedules, what already we have been discussed certain points, that into the provision it has been discussed that if 30 students are there, So means if there are 200 students, but into this, if it has been bifurcated from 30 students, there should be one teacher, because the ratio was been calculated, and according to the ratio only you need to go. So like according to the schedule, now the teachers and pupils ratio, here the ratio it has been calculated. Now for class 1 to 5, first standard to 5th standard, up to 120 students, 1 is to 30 should be there. Means into this bifurcation, 1 is to 30 means if there are 30 students, so into the 30 students, one teacher should be taken care relating to this. Next, if there is 120 to 200 students, so ultimately 1 is to 40 should be there. So according to this, plus your headmasters will be also being there to be taking care relating to this. If more than 200 students will be there, the same, but the thing is even headmasters will be also there. So this is just an accurate way of kind, and according to the schedule into the Rights of an Education Act, so this part of it, rules and regulations has been mentioned. Next, I have, now this was from 1st to 5th. Now this is from 6th to 8, that is 1 is to 35 should be there. It is an accurate from this particular subjects related, from 35 students, ultimately there is only one teacher. So one teacher will be, half of them they will be full-time teachers, half of them they will be part-time teachers. Now that full-time teacher should have the knowledge of science, mathematics, social studies and languages. These are the different way that he should be having a knowledge, because there according to this you can place the full-time professor. Next, if it is a part-time, art of education, health and physical education and work education. This should be there for the part-time teachers. So at least what they can grow, and even the thing is what the students will be not even studying, but even the thing is he'll be also getting a practical knowledge and certain part of skills development, because this is all an activity where currently they have given more and more flourish, and they have given more and more importance to this part of it activity. So at least the thing is what they can, at least the students, as they can come up with certain kind of new ideas, and according to this the thing is what they can show their development. So this is all different type of priorities and schedules was even directed into the rights. So like you need to just take it, they have given the ratio, and according to the ratio finally the thing is what they need to look after with the all the way of provisions related, which was given an importance into the rights. Now even you need to check about the buildings. Okay, they have been given that buildings, all weather buildings, whenever it has been placed. So like you need to check about it, that when the school it has been developed, when the school it has been placed, so on that time all weather buildings, you whatever the building, whatever the school structure will be there, you need to keep that way, like into the all weather. The thing is the building will be proper, because here we are thinking about students, we are taking care about children. So children should not get that type of problems whenever the thing is what they come to school, and if there are certain kind of lag, so ultimately with the help of the lag, the thing is the students will be facing problems. This should not there. All the weather building. Okay, next, separate toilet for boys and girls, this is to be taken care. Safe and adequate drinking water, do you need to keep. Kitchen for MDM, okay, if there is any kind of kitchen, so ultimately who can make and who can give it to it certain, because if there is any kind of government schools, you can see they feed even milk also, and even to the food also to each and every children. So they used to keep a separate kitchens, or else it comes from outside of somewhere from the government. So this is also they used to do. Playgrounds, they used to keep a playground. Secure for the boundary walls, this should be there, like if there is any kind of boundary, it has been there. So according to that boundary, the wall should be properly, it should be placed, so at least the students won't be getting any kind of injected. So that is why this all the things to be taken care. So like to the building, by the schedule, it is into the schedule, this has been also been taken care. When the thing is what you start any kind of schools, any kind of institution, it should be properly recognized. It is a main priority. And after the thing is what, how it get recognized, because the thing is you are planning to start up with any kind of schools. So what are the major priorities when you open the schools? The thing is what, proper way of building should be meant. Proper separate toilet should be made for boys and girls. safe and adequate drinking water should be kept, kitchen should be kept properly, playground will be there, and secure for the boundary walls should be there. So with the help of this, the thing is what, the thing is the children will be more enjoyed, and finally the thing is what, they'll feel comfortable to study also, and even to get certain kind of importance related to the education, and even certain weight to the part of the educational, and even its importance. So that is why the thing is what, this all structured, it has been mentioned into the schedule according to the RTI Act also. Now, minimum working days. Now, this is for the children and even for the teachers. It has been said about it. Minimum working days will be 1 to 5th. It will be 200 hours, and 6th to 8 will be 220 hours. Instruction hours, if instructions, it means on that time, during the lectures time, what are the teachers related when he gives you the any part of instructions, if there is any kind of meeting. So on that time, 1 to 5th standard, there will be the 800 hours, and 1 to 8th standard, it's 6 to 8 standard will be 1000 hours. So this should be there, means total working hours related to the day. It's like whole for the whole year. So this type of it you should take a care, because according to the schedule, this has been also been time, it has been checked, because according to this, the student how much to be communicate, what that person will be saying, what you will be also saying, that too the thing is what, it should be clubbed, and finally the thing is it should be present according to that way. So this is all the thing which is given the more priorities relating to the educational part. Now here, minimum working hours per week for a teacher. Now working hours for the teachers will be what, 45, including preparation hours. Even the thing is what, it will be a 45 hours. Okay, that is for a per week for a teacher. Means per week for a teacher, means per week will be you are having 45, you have a 4 weeks. So 45 into 4, whatever the total will be there. So according to that part of it, that including the teacher should get a preparation time also. So into that only the teacher should adjust his time, because according to that part only the thing is what, she'll go through with a certain different type of concept. Provides teacher learning equipment, libraries, games, sports, and other play materials. This is also important. Now during this working hours also, and even for the teachers, they should be given a teachers a learning equipment, and even for the library, at least what they can sit and they can prepare their own stuff. So at least what, during going for the lecture, at least they'll prepare, the teacher will be prepared, and finally the thing is what, they can go in the front of the children. So that way the thing is the communication will be simple and easiest. Then game and sports and other play materials, this is also being taken care. Games should be given priorities, and even there should be a certain sports also, because till the time if you are not giving students any kind of skills related or any kind of development related or any play material related, the students won't be having that part of interest relating to that part of study. So that is why this games and sports are given the priorities to have more and more impact related to this particular thing. So like the teacher should provide the learning equipment. Next, library should be also given, and even to the games and sports and other play materials should be also given. So according to this, at least what the teacher will be properly secured, and even the thing is what, he will be having all the way of knowledge relating which he can share among the children. So these are the provisions which has been also there into the schedules, into the RTE. Now, the model rules under the Rights of Children's to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009. Now, certain rules which has been given under the Rights of Children's in Free and Compulsory Education 2009. Certain rules have been there. So, according to this particular, that is part 4 into the schedule, which has been part 4 into this, the model rules which has been given to the children. So, let us go with the help of that. Now, the key points. Now, what are the things on that time they have been said according to the part 4? The area or a limit of a neighborhood, class 1 to 5, within a walk distance of 1 kilometer, means when you are placing any kind of schools. But on that time, if the students are from 1st standard to 5th standard, so how you will place a distance Walking distance will be only 1 kilometer, means almost 1 kilometer you need to take care relating to this. The area or limit of a neighborhood, okay, neighborhood means neighborhood side if you want to place the school, means if you see certain locality and according to that locality if you see there is no any kind of schools. Now if you are placing, so from class to 1 to 5 within a walk of kilometers, means into 1 kilometers only you need to place a class. But if there is the class of 6th standard to 8th standard, you can keep within the distance of 3 kilometers. This should be taken care. If for this class and for this class there is a difference, because the thing is what the children's here, the thing is what they are into that part of age, so that is why this care should be also taken. Here the care should be also taken. The area or a limit where you will place a class, where you will place a school. So on that time from class 1 to 5 within the walk of 1 kilometer, and from 6th to 8th standard within the walk of 3 kilometers you will be placing a class. Now, where no school exists within the area or the limit specified, government has been made the provision for free transportation, residential facilities and other the facilities. If there are certain areas where schools are not being placed, so according to this, the government has given that part of provision, at least if because into the particular locality there is no any kind of schools. So that is why the thing is government what it has been said about it. So give them the transport facilities and all, and kindly plan according to the residential area type only where he can come, he can place it. So this type of provision also been placed into the schedule according to the part 4. Okay, so these are the into the modules. This is also to be taken care. Now where no school exists within the area or limit specified, government has to make a provision for free transportation, residential facilities and other facilities. So this should be also taken care. In area within a higher population density, the state may establish more than one neighborhood school. Now this is also been given. If the state is certain populated density, if there are so many different type of peoples are there, so ultimately for them also what they have been said, you can place more than one neighborhood school also, one more you can place the school, because the thing is what at least because already into the act it has been said each and every people has right for an education. So that is why if into the density populations if there is only one school, so finally the thing is give them the chance to establish the one more school you can place. So that is why that kind of also provision which has been given into the act. So at least with the help of this each and every children will be getting an education properly. Even division facility which has been also been given according to this type of schedule. If there is only 8 divisions, so finally give them the more divisions related if you for this, but you require the provision that is a classroom and all should be also been there, proper the board should be there, the chalk should be also there, the proper way of desk, each and everything should be there. So with the help of this at least the students will be having the proper way of sitting way of way. So according to this, at least what they can sit properly and they can learn and even they can get a major importance of each and everything. So that is why this is also one type of module and provision which has been discussed in RTE. Now, the state has to make the appropriated and safe transportation arrangement for children with the disability. Okay, this has also been given if the children are facing any kind of disability. So on that time also the transportation arrangement should be also given to this, because that should be taken care. Even you might be knowing that certain schools also, if the students are disabled, so on that time give them the facility of lift also, at least or an escalator, which the thing is what the students won't face any kind of problem. So give that type of facilities. So this from this facility the appropriated only should be given, and even the state people from the state government only. When you start preparing this part of it, so on that time they will only recommend to take care relating to all certain particular things. The state to ensure that access of children to the school is not hindered on the account of social and cultural factors. Now here the thing is the state will also be sees that the access of children to the school is not hindered on the account of social and cultural factors. Already it has been said. Here to be not even seen about the social cultures related, because when the admission has just been given, the admission is not based on the certain particular way of race, the casteism or anything. Here the education education will be provided to each and everything. So the state should even taking care to the children if this kind of on the account of social and cultural activities, from social and cultural factors related it has been there. So it should be not moved more and more hindered according to that part of it. The responsibility of providing free and entitlement, textbook, written materials and uniform, especially support materials for children with a disability, etc. Shall be of the school in the case of school belonging to specified categories and unaided schools. Now, this is also the responsibilities of a government, which has been given one more provision that for children's, they should be entitled to give certain kind of textbook, written book, uniform and special support material for the children for the disability, etc. Means this type of support system should be there for to given to the children, and especially for the disabled children, because the thing is what, if they are not getting this type of benefits, so the thing is what, they won't be studying and finally they will lack. So that is why the thing is give that type of all facilities also. And even the thing is what, even into certain unaided school also give them this kind of facilities. Certain unaided schools also you can see means their fees are like, so they are not getting that part of benefits also so much to the children. So that is why at least give them the uniform, give them the study material, give them certain part of written material also, where the thing is what, they can have more attachments related to this, and finally the thing is what, they can study proper with each and everything, and finally the thing is what, they won't lack with a certain kind of disability type, or else they won't lack with the help of that we are not getting any kind of help, and that is why the thing is what, they lag backside. So that is why to lag backside, the thing is what, this all part of requirement should be also given, that is also on the free of the cost. So this also provision has been kept into this education. Now, the local authority shall maintain a record of all the children in the jurisdiction through household survey from their birth till their attaining of 14 years. The record has to be updated each year. Now, this is a duty of the local authority, that they need to maintain the record of the students who are like minimum means they are attending to the 14 years. Till the 14 years, the thing is what, they need to make a record, and even they need to check about how many children are there, do they study or not, and if they are not studying, what they do. So this type of record they need to maintain to it, because this type of record, the thing is they might be checking, and they according to this, the thing is what, it will be monitored each and every points, and finally the thing is what, they will take care ahead with the next way of provisions, and even the thing is they can pass any kind of schedules relating to this. So the local authority shall maintain a record of all children in the jurisdictions through household survey. So the thing is what, this survey, it has been done with the help of they use this children's related record. If they want to calculate, they do the household survey. They go door to door, and finally they ask how many children are there, what is the age of their, and finally they get those information, and their birth, even from when the birth was there, and finally at the age of 14 years they used to check this thing, and the record they need to update every year. Every year they need to keep the record, and finally they need to update. Per child expenditure is defined and calculated as the total annual recurring expenditures incurred by the state divided by the total number of children enrolled in all such schools. Government aided schools are not considered as government schools in their regards. Now into this, your government schools related, they have been not at all accepted, but here they want to check the per child expenditures. Now here they want to calculate what is an expenditure if there is also one child, means just a way of information they want to calculate, that if the per child study, so what is the cost of it, means how much of expenditures will be gone to the one child. So finally into this, they calculate the total annual recurring expenditures incurred by the state. Now from the state, how much the total number of expenditure it has been given, okay, to the children, that divided by the total number of children enroll in such particular school. Means what the government has been given certain kind of expenditures, and that divided by from the school total number of children, how many enrolled, so like total number of children and how many it has been enrolled. So according to this part of bifurcation, you will get divided, and finally the thing is what, you will get an answer. But here government aided schools are not considered as a government school in this regard. Here the government schools related to that part of consideration, here it won't be discussed relating to that particular rate if it is in the aided school. But if it is in unaided, so here the thing is it will be calculated. Every school receive reimbursement from the government should maintain separate bank account. Now, usually what it happens when you start up with any kind of schools, so certain things are being there, certain way of activities, whatever you conduct. So usually what happens, the government gives the certain kind of amount, means that it has been reimbursed. So what happens on that time, it is a duty of the schools to maintain a separate account, and finally the thing is to calculate every day's balance, and finally the thing is what, you need to keep it record update, because anytime the person from the government, they can come and they can check this type of record. So this should be taken care. Every school receive the reimbursement from the government school, from the government should maintain separate bank account. So that is why this should be also taken care. Whatever the activities we have been conducted on the behalf of the government, because government said to its to, means according to the provision only, and according to this part of only act, it has been said, whatever the activity, this activity should be given to the children, this activity should be given to the children, this activity should be conducted by the children. So on that time, and even the provision, into the provision it has been mentioned, if this activity you will conducted, whatever the expenditures are been there, will be providing to the children. So this should be, the thing is, they'll be giving this, they will be only giving you the expenditures. School is yours, but the thing is what, certain activities are that way, where the thing is what, government only reimburse you the amount for the each and every children. Now it is the duty of the school only, that the thing is what, whatever the expenditures we get from certain part of government, to maintain a separate account, and finally into that particular account you need to check out what are the expenditures have been there, what are the debit it has been, how much it is, why it was credited, and finally you need to make a record. If there is any kind of stationery you took, any kind of way of items related to printing you have been took about it, any kind of overheads you have been kept, or any kind of inactivities, you paid someone, you have took a flowers for a garden and all. So if this all expenditures related, whatever the activities will be there, you need to maintain a separate account, and finally you need to update this account properly each and every particular time, till the time the thing is what, whatever the amount you have been done. But certain period of time, what it happens, the government says about it, you put your own funds and you start with the help of this activity. Once the thing is what, you give us the bill, finally the thing is we'll reimburse you the whatever the amount was there. So these are the activities are also being conducted. So but the thing is what, you need to maintain each and every records of bank accounts to be, and even their bank accounts should be separated, because the thing is what, you won't be able to get a proper way of accurate information. So that is why the thing is you need to maintain separate bank account also, and for that bank account the thing is what, all the transactions will be done according to this part, how much you have debited, how much you have been credited at the end of it, what is an expenditures was done, what is an income right now. So this is all way of information, it will be discussed into this part of it. So you should be taking care. So this provision is also being mentioned into the rights of an education, because according to this, the thing is the government want to see about it, that whether the amount whatever it has been given by the government, it is going by the children's or not, and does the thing is the children are getting that benefits or not. So certain where what had happened, certain schools they give certain uniforms, they give study materials, they give certain kind of stationeries also, they give bags, each and everything they used to get, and finally they used to reimburse from the government, because the thing is the government says about it, give them that part of priority, at least the students will be getting that part of benefit, and finally the thing is what, they will be studying. This all provision was also being set up. Now, every non-government school existing before the commencement of the Act has to make a self-declaration within 3 months in the form number 1 to the concern of DEO regards its compliance or otherwise for its recognition. Schools which is not conforms to the norm, standard and condition after 3 years from the commencement of an act shall cease to the functions. Now here, if what has been said about it, every non-governmental school existing before the commencement of the act has to make a self-declaration within a 3 months in the form of number one. Now, if there is any non-governmental schools who have been planned, who have been started up, so ultimately, if it is took 3 months. Now, before the commencement of an act, means this act has been not passed, but before this, before the act, the thing is what if, for example, 2009, the act was passed, but before this in certain 2005 or a 5 or a certain period of 6 to 7, whatever you have been planned. So if you have opened, so within the 3 months, the thing is you need to you need to fill the form, that is form number 1, to the concern with the, and it should be self-declared, means you need to self-declare that I from this institutions, we have been started with the help of this kind of school, and this is all the documents and all, I declare this kind of it, and you need to have a self-attested with the help of the certain kind of governmental authorities, and regarding to compliance or otherwise to recognize, and for this the thing is you need to request to it to give the recognition. School will not conform to the norm standard and condition after the 3 years from the commencement of the act shall cease to the function. If after 3 years, if you are not commenced after the act, till the time of 3 years, if you are not doing out, finally the thing is what certain functions will be ceased to. This means it won't be getting an applicable, it won't be able to commence further. So that is it, this should be even taken care. Now, compliances includes, compliances means what? If there is any kind of grievances. So, into this part of matter also, if there is any kind of grievances, the grievances also been taken care. The school is open to inspect by an officer appointed by the appropriated government. The school is anytime it has been appointed, because from the government, if any of the person is coming out to look after with any kind of records, to look after with any kind of officer, to look after with any kind of teachers, or to look after with any kind of inspection. So, it is been open for the during the working hours. So the officer from the appropriated government, the officer can come anytime and he can do the inspections to any part of it. So that is why it has been already been said, whatever the provisions are been there, to that provisions to be taken care, and even the record should be maintained day by day, because whenever the inspectors have been coming, so on that time the thing is they'll be checking the records. The school undertakes to furnish the reports and information as many required by the DEO from the time to time. So that is why it has been said, they need to furnish, the school undertakes to furnish the reports and information as may be required to be DEO from the time to time. So this it has been said, the school should maintain a proper way of report, and according to the DEO, means according to the deputy of educational officer who will be coming from the government authority, appropriated authority person. If that person says about it to give this information, to give this related reports, the reports to be furnished on that time. So that is why it should be kept time to time. The thing is what, it should be updated properly, so there won't be any kind of problem further. So these are the things to be taken care. Okay. Now, every non-government school established after the Act came into the force has to conform to the norms, standards and conditions stated in the orders to qualify for the recognition. Now, after this, if there is any non-governmental school who just established, so this, according to this act, he needs to take care to all the provision, all the rules, all the norms, and according to this, the thing is what, the school should be functioned according to this way. So these are the things to be taken care, and finally the thing is what, you need to have a qualified recognition also, that is important. Because if you give a proper way of recognition of all the stuff, the thing is what, the school will be granted into the good position. So that is why these are the things to be taken care if the school it is from the non-governmental schools. Every school other than an unaided school should constitute a school managemental committee. This is a compulsory. If there is any kind of school, if there is a school other than an unaided school, if there is unaided schools related, so this thing is not there. even school other than the unaided school should constitute. Now, if there is any kind of schools, but into this schools, the thing is aided and unaided both are been covered up. So if this kind of school it has been there, they need to keep a school managemental committees related, because if this committee will be there, so whatever related to compliances, any kind of grievances will be there. So according to this, at least what they can come and they can discuss with the whatever the matters they require, and with the help of it they can give certain kind of answer. So these are also the one type of provisions which has been taken care. So with the help of the provision, the thing is the school should even get a proper way of identification of and recognition. Because if this all provisions are being when properly, so ultimately they will be given the major priorities and core priorities relating to the education and their importance also. So here it is basically related with all which has been aided and even for the unaided schools. Now, the composition of a school managemental committee. Now, what will happen? Now, already it has been said. Now, already into the last slide we have been seen. It has been said about it, like school. If there are people who are from the non-governmental schools, and if it is aided and unaided, they should make this type of committee. But what are the committees are being included into school managemental committee? What are the people are being included? 75% from the guardian parent, as if I already said, from the from the parents or a guardian. There should be 75% of the members should be involved into this part of committee. Of the remaining 25%, now remaining whatever the 25% internal it will be there, into this 1/3 of the member from the amongst elected members from the local authority, means from the governmental authority. So 1 or a third member will be there, 1/3 members will be there from amongst whatever it has been elected, and that person who can give the answer. 1/3 of the member from the teacher of a school should be decided by the teacher. Now this 1 or a third members will be there from the school, like according to teachers, the thing is what they will be doing an election, and according to this, the thing is what the teacher will be also there. Remaining 1/3 from amongst the local education, children in the school to be decided by the parents in the committees. So like the children's in the school, now either you can take 1/3 from amongst the local educational, you can take it from the local educational wise, okay, any kind of person. Second, children's in the schools to be decided by the parents in the committee, okay, the children will be decided whose parents will be even there into the committee, so that part of it. So you can look after like this into the SMC, all the people should be, it has been involved. Next, the SMC shall elect a chairperson and vice chairperson for the amongst the parent member, okay, means into from this parent, the thing is what they will be even electing a 2%, that is a chairman, and according to this the vice chairman will be there. The head teacher, senior most teacher of the school shall be ex officio member convey. If there is a head teacher from all the teachers, if there is a headmaster someone, so you can take that, or a senior most teacher, whichever is the best for it, who can give the answer and who is the relevant for this. So you can take, and finally you can keep an ex officio of a member who can convey each and every messages to the chairman and even to the higher authority if the people come. The SMC is to meet at least once a month and maintain the minutes and decide of all the meetings. So here the thing is what they'll be doing out into this every once in the month. Okay, every month they need to conduct one meeting, and into this meeting the thing is what they need, whatever the discussions related to any kind of compliances, any kind of grievances, any kind of disputes, whatever it has been there, if there is any kind of inspections to be conducted related to that type of meeting, whenever it has been there, so it should be conducted. And finally the thing is what they need to maintain a minutes. Minutes, it is what, now before minutes the thing is what, the agendas it has been discussed. Agenda, it is what, like when this officers are been there, when this type of committees people are been there, so on that time before the meetings, what are the points we are going to be discussed, so that particular points related, the thing is what, they will be getting certain kind of agenda type, means a topic type they'll be getting. For example, related to the children's picnic, children's way of disputes, children's fees related. So these are the points, whatever it has been there, it has been given to this part of committee. Once the thing is what, because during coming for the meeting, at least they should get this part of agenda. And once the thing is what, they are coming into the meeting, this particular related agenda, the thing is what, the minutes are being prepared. Minutes, it is what, whatever according to this part of it agenda, whatever the points are be there, that points related, what was the answer, that is called a minutes. And finally the thing is what, they need to write it down, this minutes. Minutes won't be an oral, it will be in the written format. The conversation will be oral, but the thing is what it's also require oral also and written also. So whatever the points it has been discussed here, so that with the help of an oral, finally the thing is it will be written also, and whatever, and it should be maintained a record, because anytime the appropriated government can come anytime for the inspections, that if you have conducted, if you are having this type of committee, so what are the decisions you have been took, what are the priorities you have been given to the certain things. So with the help of this, at least they'll be getting a clear-cut idea about what are the requirements and how the requirements have been done and how the requirements have been taken and how the priorities it has been given to each and everything. And finally the thing is, this was a point, and according to this point, whatever the answer was there, and finally you maintain a record. And with the help of this, and during this part of, once the minutes have been over, all the people, parent, guardians, whatever who will be there, your ex-officer, local authority of a children selected, any kind of parents or any kind of local authoritative person, you have a vice chairman and chairman, you have a ex-officer of member, either he is a teacher or a head teacher, any of this, of all the people who have been attended for the meeting. So into that minutes, the thing is what, they with their name, with their designation, finally the thing is what, their signatures are also been done with the help of sign. And finally the thing is, it is kept into the record. Prepare a 3-year school development plan. That is also important. During this, the thing is what, it should be taken care. The committee will be discussing why the committee has been kept, not related with only compliances, but even for the planning session also. Because of all the committee, if they are sitting out, so ultimately the thing is what, they'll be preparing a certain plans which has been related to the children. So at least what, with the help of this, the children will be getting their improvements into certain kind of skills or any kind of knowledge. So that is why 3 years of school development plans also you need to set up, because as you set up with the help of this school development plan, so there will be the vast way of importance related to the school, and even the thing is what, the schools can be developed, the schools can be developed also properly, and with the help of this, the thing is what, the committee will be also getting the proper way of requirement. So that is why all the things are been also been taken care. Composition of school managemental committee related. So these are all the 75% of parent and guardian, of remaining 25% will be there. So into this 1 to 25%, the 3 different level of bifurcation it has been done. Once it has been done, I've been discussing this committee. Once it has been done, so finally they do the elections for the chairman and vice chairman who can pass the proper way of decision. Then afterwards, the head teacher, senior most teacher, whoever will be there. So finally, with the help of this, even your ex-officer, which can be convener, you can even maintain the minutes once in the month and maintain the minutes and decide the meeting, whatever the points was there, and prepare a 3 years of school development plan. So this is the main committee work, and to follow this whole committee work, finally the thing is to maintain a record also, and according to the record, finally the thing is you can plan for the future planning. So with the help of this, you can forecast yourself, and finally the thing is what, you'll be getting an accurate information. So now this is all the provisions are also been set into right to an education. Now, an academical authority to lay down minimum academic qualification for the person eligible to appoint as a teacher. Now, here to be taken care, whoever the person, for example, the thing is, for the teacher will be there. For the teacher, if he is coming for an appointment, so finally it should be a appropriated way of authority, and proper way of academical authority should be taken care. Means if a teacher is getting recruit in certain kind of school, so he or she should have a proper way of knowledge related to this, and even particularly the thing is what, his qualification should be complete with according to the guidelines of a provision, whatever it is being said, because then only the thing is what, the teacher will be given the priorities to come and to be into the certain part of schools, and even the thing is what, he or she will be having the major impacts to it, and that person will be laid down with the proper way of eligibility. And academical authorities to lay down minimum academical qualification he should have for the person eligible for the appointment as a teacher. The SMC shall be first level of grievances redressal of the teachers. If even the thing is into this committee, if there is any kind of matters related to teachers, if there is any kind of grievances, whatever it has been conducted, so it comes in the first level where if there is any kind of problems related to teacher, even this type of matter has also been discussed into this part of committee, and finally the committee, whatever the answer they will be discussed, so finally the thing is what that will be by. If not, then finally the thing is it will be going ahead. The state government should constitute the school tribunals at a state, degree and a block level for the grievances redressal. Now here, if this is the first way of redressal, that is an SMC, okay, that is a school managemental committee. If there is any kind of problems related, so finally the thing is what, this is the first grievances redressal for the teachers. But even the thing is what, the state government has been constitute a state tribunals, means if the thing is what, if the grievances has been more and more, means the problems are not getting solved easily, so that is why the thing is what, the government has been constituted a tribunals. Okay, a tribunals is one type of court where the thing is what, they can pass out the decision within a certain particular period of time. It don't take the time. So that is why your school tribunals to be taken at state, district and block level for the grievance address. So these are the different where the thing is what, they can come, they can discuss the matter related to this, and finally the thing is what, whatever the answers are been there, it has been banned. Whether the state commission for protect, where the state commission for protect to the children right does not exist, the state government shall appoint an interim authority, rights to education protection authority. Now, if this act certain period of time, this is not exist, means if the state commission in certain state, if this commission for protecting of child rights do not exist, okay, if certain, because it takes a time to at least to develop, but if certain period of time there are certain kind of density, less density populated, so on that time the thing is what, this protection rights, it has been not given more and more effective, or it has been not existed. So ultimately the state government has given certain type of new appointments, that is interim authority they have been given, that is right to education for protection authority. They have been kept this type of authority, one more different type of authority, because with the help of this type of authority, at least what they can come and finally the thing is what, they can pass out whatever the decision as they require. So these are also the different type of provisions related point, it has been also been discussed, so that the thing is what, each and every people will be getting a proper way of benefits, and where the thing is what, all the points related informations will be there, it will be covered up according to their requirements. So these are all the things and these are the points are been also been taken care. Now, part 5, here the thing is comments, consequences, implications of an act for a minority. Now, here the thing is what, it is given the major, what are the effects of for the act for the minority. Now, there you will be seeing the model. Now, into this fifth, what it has been said, see. Comments, consequences and implication of an act for a minority. If there is any kind of people who are into the minority scene, so on that time what are the effects are they are facing out. Now, enforcement of a right, fundamental rights to the is the duty of the state. Enforcement of the fundamental rights is the duty of the state. Enforcement, the thing is what, you need to perform that type of whatever the fundamental rights which is given by the particular state. So it is the duties to follow that part of rights. Now the state, it is enforced it on other, including the minority. It has been already said to follow, but even the thing is for the minority is also been said to be follow this particular way of rights also. RTE, that is Right to Education Act, threats to take away the rights granted and guarantees to the minority under the Constitution. Now, according to this part of Act, they have been given the major rights for the minority also. They have been properly, it has been threat, and according to this, it has been given the proper way of rights related to in the Constitution, means into the Constitution, and into this Act, the thing is first it was only given for the majority, but even the thing is what currently it is even given for the minority also to be taken care, and even to follow all such particular way of requirements according to the education. The RTE Act do not mention the word minority at all anywhere in the Act. Now, into this Act, the thing is the word minority it has been not discussed, because the thing is what, they have been not discussed anywhere, but the thing is what, this has been followed by each and every particular way. Will RTE neglects blackouts of an Article 30 writs are already filed and pending to the and pending in the Supreme Court. Now into this, the related to this particular way of rights, already they have been granted a provisions, and this provisions related already the thing is what they have been filed a petitions, and with the help of the petition is already pending into the Supreme Court for the proper way of assistance and proper way of answers related to this. 25% of seats to be reserved by the disadvantaged group. How do you identify children belonging to disadvantaged group? What happens is if more than 25% person comes for the admissions. So here even certain disadvantages group related, if there is any kind of children's or else the thing is if there is any kind of reservation quota type, so 25% of the seats are been reserved for certain who are disadvantageous groups who are not getting a proper way of admission. So at least this percent of seats, so child belongs to disadvantageous group, how you identify. So if this part of requirements are been there, so for them also the thing is these are the things to be taken care, that is 25%. More than 25% comes from the admission. So here for this 25% of the seats it has been already reserved. So certain period of time for the disadvantageous group also some seats are being lagged, but the thing is these are also the problems they face because of the minority section, because all the particular points it has been not at all discussed, but slowly and steadily the thing is what the points and the provisions are being added into the RTA, and finally the thing is the act is moving according to the provisions whatever it has been said and according to the schedule also. Now under this act compulsory education starts at the under this act compulsory education starts at the age of 6. Okay, now already into this whatever the concept we have been discussed, so into this already it has been said, into this act compulsory education starts at the age, it is in compulsory education which is given for the age of 6. Okay, at the age of 6 it has been recruited. Normally our school admits children in UKG and LKG depending on the age. So in our school admissions will have to be from the preschool. So certain period of time this part also the thing is it has been affected. Now under this act compulsory education starts. Now into this whatever the act what we are learning right now, the year compulsory admission it has been started, and what it has been said, usually the thing is currently the parents, once the thing is with the children who at the age of 6, once he comes, so finally UKG and LKG they plan, and finally the thing is what they start their admission according to whatever the ages they belong in. But the thing is what this type of particular, it is called preschool age, where just giving out the brushing out with all the different part of concepts, and at least giving that particular way of trainings to come into it, and finally the thing is to be into the elementary educational, where a child is directly admitted in class appropriated to his or her age. He or she has the right to receive the special trainings to be a par with others. How do you do that? Okay, this is a question what it has been said. If the child is directly admitted, now already it has been said here, first UKG and LKG, the thing means if the child, if it has been coming, now according to the right of education, it has been said that to educate it for each and everyone. But during this particular time, the preschooling activity has been started, that is UKG and LKG. So on that time, first it has been said about it to give the proper and accurate information. Now if the child is already been appointed, and if he's already appointed or any kind of age, means he's admitted it with any kind of age, and ultimately with that particular age, the thing is what he's admitted to the certain particular class. So give them the proper some trainings to it, some special trainings to it. At least the thing is whatever he has been left out previously, so at least he'll be covering on that time. So that is why this thing should be also taken care. Regarding the age proof, even an affidavit with SUFIs now can be insist on hospital certificate or baptism certificates. Okay, so this is all different type of documents to be also been given, like whenever the child it has been admitted for the certain kind of schooling. So on that time certain age proof should be also given, like affidavit you give it or any kind of document should be given, because with the help of the document finally the thing is what it has been admitted according to this particular, you can give that part of educational, and even the thing is what that part of particular class you can place. No test or interview for the admission. Okay, during this part of it, no test will be also taken and no interviews will be also taken for the admission. So what are the consequences? How do will be how will you recognize this? Okay, so you need to have this type of task here. It has been given to it. So you need to give your own views. If this kind of if no test and interviews will be conducted for the admission, so what are the things you will be looking after relating to this? It should be taken care. No. Government will prescribe a common syllabus. What happens in your school syllabus? Now usually what happens for this type of it, how you'll recognize better it is, what they'll be keeping out, the government will give a common syllabus for all, and for each and every particular schooling also they'll be keeping the common syllabus. So at least the students will be not getting a problem, and even the thing is what, you can study properly. A school has to provide entitlement, that is book. Okay, the certain schools will be the schools will be providing to the books, uniform, and even transportation to the 25% disadvantaged students. If the 25%, if there is disadvantaged students also, even the thing is to them also, the thing is the school will be providing this all type of facility. The government is supposed to provide books for them, but will not match the textbook you are using. Moreover, the books from the governmental quota hardly comes in time. So what is the solution? National curriculum. Okay, so this is also one type of problems. Usually government provides the book, but what happens certain period of time, what textbook you are following into the school, that textbook related, and what the government gives you the book, that books are changes. Means what they give, that books is changes, what this book, what the school into the school, which textbook they have been preferring, that book has been changed. So that is, and certain period of time into the government quota, if it has been there, the government the books doesn't come into the proper time. So ultimately the children are facing a problem. So that is why, what is the solution for this? This is also the main concept related to this particular thing that it has been taken care. There is a provision for MDM for disadvantaged children. How are you going to handle? Now there is a certain provisions are been given for if disadvantaged students are facing this type of problem. So certain provisions are also been given to this, and according to that particular provisions, you need to take care for the particular way of students. Government will reimburse all the expenses per its note. The school has to maintain a separate bank account for the amount received. Now relating to this particular norms, and related to this particular scenario, what the thing is, what the government said about it to the schools, that you buy the books and even give it to the children, but related to this particular thing, will reimburse you into the cost. So because what happens, the textbook won't be getting a change, and finally certain books it comes, certain books it doesn't come, and the student face a problem. So that is why the thing is what, already the thing is, the government has passed one type of provisions that you give on our behalf. The thing is what, you give it to the children, and finally the thing is what, whatever the cost will be there, will reimburse you into your account. But for this, at least to be kept in the separate bank account to be kept, because the thing is, whatever the transactions will be there, whatever the records will be there, it will be maintained to that way, because whenever the inspection comes, whenever you want to give this type of data, to want to submit it to the committee members, or you want to give to the certain local authorial body, if they come and finally they inspect the books, and if there is any kind of bifurcation, so that all the part, the thing is what, if we're getting a clear-cut idea, means a proper way of record, then the thing is what, we can make a proper way of records related to each and everything. And so that is why, to be maintained properly and to record properly, these are the things to be taken care. So even amount received, what are the amount it has been received related, this all the things to be also taken care, all expenses related to this. So that is this type of a solution and provision, it has been set into the right to an education related. So now the thing is what, the children from disadvantages group and even from the advantages group also, the thing is what, they'll be getting this part of facilities. And even the thing is what, if the books are not came, if the books are not there, finally the thing is what, the government will reimburse whatever the expenses which has been put for the children. And finally the thing is, for that particular thing, the thing is what, the school should maintain a different part of account, and then after the transactions should be kept properly, because whenever the people can come, so at least what, they can inspect whatever the record it has been given to it. So these are the things to be taken care. No children is to detain up to the class 8. On completion of class 8, a children is to be given a certificate stating that she or he has completed the course. Now here the thing is what, now once the thing is, it is not like once your 8th standard it has been completed, so finally you just finished, your education is completed, now you can go. Here the thing is what you need to give, you need to just give the certain kind of certificates, you need to promote to the children more, and you motivate the children with the help of giving certain kind of certificates. So at least what, after this he will be getting more motivated, and finally the thing is, with the help of the rewards, he will be more and more way of related, because he will be having that type of idea that the course it has been completed by the help of showing this particular way of documents. No physical punishments or mental harassment of the children while in the school. This should be also taken care, because if this type of scenario it has been there, the provisions are also been there. If the child it has been harassed, and if there is any kind of mental harassment, if it has been done by the teachers or any kind of people who are being placed into the school. So if this kind of means, for example, spares the rod and spoils the children, okay, if a certain rod you're using out, and finally the thing is what, you're spoiling the child names a certain way, if this type of harassment if you're doing out, finally the thing is, the strict actions might be taken. So no physical punishments will be given, and no mental harassments will be done during to this. No disciplinary actions, no exclusions of students is possible. Okay, no disciplinary action, because this is just a startup. So like more and more you should not harass to the children, because at least what, if you harass more and more, the students will get frightened, and finally the thing is what, certain problems might be arising. So and then afterwards the thing is what, the provisions for that particular schooling, or if the particular person related, will be harsh. School buildings cannot be used for non-educational purpose. What does it mean? Now here what it is being said, non-educational purpose. If usually a school, it is meant for the for a students and for a teachers, where teachers train to the students. The main objectives of opening of school was to set and to develop the skill of the children by the help of the teacher. So the building will be only meant for the educational purpose, not for a non-educational purpose. You cannot start up with any part of activities here, because the thing is, the school building is meant for an educational purpose. Here non-education activity, it is not at all stated. So this is also provision, it has been said. Every school other than the unaided school, now according to the model rules of 30, must have a school managemental committee. This has been compulsory. Every school other than unaided school, okay, every schools you can say other than the unaided school, this managemental committee, school managemental committee should be kept, because the thing is what, the students are more, according to if there is any kind of grievances, if there is any kind of problems, if there is any kind of disciplinary actions to be taken, so these are the things to be taken care. So that is why teacher grievances are also been there. So these are the things they need to school managing committee, they need to keep. 75% of the member must be parent guardian of the children, remaining from the local representative of the people, teacher representative, etc. 50% are to be women. Now into this, 75% will be from the parent or a guardian, whoever will be. So the teacher related to the students, when students related, children's related, parents and guardians related, any kind of person will be a member. Then remaining for all local representative of all the people, teachers. Okay, into this, if there is any kind of people related to teacher representative, there is being, so ultimately you plan to that way also. And into all those type of whatever the scenarios are being there, so finally 50% will be females, which what we have been learned previously only. Minimum 50% will be females. Prima facie, it appears that only one person, namely the school head, can represent the management. Now here the thing is what, related to only one person. Now here for the one person, namely school head, can be a representative for the management. So if related to children related, it will be there to take care each and everything. So the school head will be, any school head will be there to look after with a particular way of management. Now violates the minority rights under the Article 30, does not, it violates the minority rights under the Article 30. Now under the Article 30, your minority rights should not get any kind of problems. So this has to be also taken care. It is not been considered. What happens to the existing governing body? With this, the virtual control of of the school will be with the SMC. So if existing governing body, if there is any kind of already which has been existing governing body which has already been existing, so that particular way the thing is what the SMC will be also taking care to the particular way of school. Are they qualified? Okay, like when you are hiring this all particular way or where all the committees are being there, so here the thing is to be taken care, they should be qualified, proper way of competence to be carried out with the responsibility including the financial affairs such as school development plan, annual accounts of receipt and payment. This should be a proper way of qualified and competent where the managing committees will be there to be look after with the help of certain kind of financial assistance and even financial affairs, whatever the transaction which has been given, and according to this whatever the requirements and whatever the related with receipts and payment related, whatever the transaction it has been done. So these are the things to be even taken care to this. So it is a responsibility to have a proper and qualified way of information to get all the informations and proper way of activities which has been conducted. Isn't it a simple conversations of existing Village Education Committee concept in the village under the SASSA to all the schools. Now here, if the schools are remained in the certain villages, so ultimately they have their own committee of education. If the related to that particular matter, if it has been there, so you can discuss over the matter over on that time. And finally, the thing is the conversation will be simple conversations. And finally, the thing is whatever the knowledge related to particular thing, it will be there for the particular schooling related. You will be having that part of discussion, that part of competence related to it. So your each and every point should be even taken care to the schools, even for the aided and even for the unaided one, and even certain articles are been also been there, and even with this particularly 50% of the females will be there. So each and every, some parents will be there, teachers will be there who will be taking care, okay, who will be elected, and finally they've been represented according to that way, and finally they'll be taking care. So the each and every peoples will be seen, will be there each and every time to be taken care. And finally the thing is what they need to keep the records also properly, and according to this they need to keep their balancing also, the fees related also, and even with financial accounts related, whatever the transactions will be there to be even taken care for this. No schools can be established without obtaining a certificate of registration. That is a must, because already it has been said without, if the registration it has been not at all completed, so the thing is what, the school won't be getting a license. So no schools can be established without obtaining a certificate of registration. So the registration will be given by the government. So these are the things to be taken care. Existing students to have to obtain a registration, that is must. If existing students are been existing schools are been already been placed, because before this act, if the schools are been already placed, it is the duty of the schools to get a proper way of registration. Recognition once grant can also be withdrawal on the condition of non-fulfillment of norm, standard, condition, etc. If you have been done the recognition, if the school is also granted, but certain period of time, the thing is what, you're not the school is not following any kind of norms, any kind of guarantees, any kind of related non-fulfillment of any kind of condition. So and that time you can take back you can withdraw the recognitions if you have been if your school is been already recognized. This has also been given, and there will be always loom large the fear and threat of the derecognition under some pretext or others. So here to be seen if there is any kind of threat or any kind of fear it has been there, if it is in large, so that also it has been given, so you can be even withdrawals to that particular thing. No tuitions are being allowed. Okay, here can our children tight the noose of our teachers in this regard, means the teachers here, no tuitions are being the teachers won't be taking any kind of tuitions. Here the tuitions it has been strictly restricted, and according to this part of provisions, the teachers who are into the school who are teaching for the children, so these teachers are totally restricted to take a tuitions, okay, of their particular way of school or any particular way of school, because here the thing is it has been totally restricted, because certain points which you can reveal on particular way of it, certain papers you can reveal. So that is why this have been also been taken care relating to this, that this thing should be avoided to this. Now, does not the idea of admitting children to be a neighboring school take away the freedom of parent guardians to choose a school of their choice? Will the government servants, politicians, etc. do the same? Does does not the idea of admitting the children to the neighboring school, it's the idea of parents, where the thing is what, whichever the school, it's a freedom of parents also, whichever the school it has been there which is close by neighborhood, so there it is depend upon the parents only. It is not compulsory that you need to keep in our school only, it is your only, it is not like that. It is depend upon the parents only. The parents can decide with their own freedom, and finally the thing is what, they can decide about it where they want their children to be placed. This has also been there into the guidelines. No prosecution of any offences under the Act without the previous sanction authority officers that can be seen raised to often hope. So according to this, if there is any kind of offence also, whatever it has been done, till the time the sanction of the higher authority, if that person is not passing, and if that person is passing the sentences, then only the thing is what, it will be accepted, or else the thing is it won't be getting an accepting. The the school has to furnish such a report and information as may be required by the DEO, including the copy of audit report. Now, whatever the reports it was prepared, now already we have been discussed about so many different types of reports relating to schools, like accounts whenever it has been maintained, the expenses, how many it is maintained, minutes book, how it has been prepared. So that particular way of reports, the finally that at the end of it, the audit are been came. The audit it has been done. Once the thing is your financial, your academical period it has been over, sir, on that time the thing is what, this it has been the audit has been conducted. So into this audit, once the audit has been conducted, you need to share this report to the officer whenever the thing is it has been came, because that will be treated as true and fair way. So the recognition schools, all the type of schools should be even taken care. The school is also open to inspection by any officer appointed by the government or local authority. This already we have been discussed. The school which has been already given for each and every particular one, the local authority body can anytime he can come, he can inspect this thing. This can be used as a sword of Damocles. It is clear and blunt violence of fundamental rights of a minority. So according to the fundamental rights, it's a rights of a minority, where it has been said, where anytime the thing is what, if the inspection wants to come, he can come in, but the thing is the audit report should be also ready for any time for the inspection, where the thing is what, easily which you can commence, and finally the thing is what, the work can be become easy and simple, and finally you can have in the touch with the help of proper way of requirements. Now, where I'll just conclude with the points. Okay. Whatever the points, whatever we have been discussed about it relating to the education, so we got to know the clear-cut idea about how the educations are being there, why the educations are being there, and why it is given the more importance related to particular way, where education has given more importance to the children, and how the thing is the children will be facing out the problems, and because of this children, the standard of the living will be also being changed. So I'll conclude with the help of this. The Rights of an Education Act will play an important role in achieving the universal elementary education in India. I've already said to you, because of this act, okay, it plays an important role to each and every children to get their elementary education, means before the preschooling, then till the age of 14, at least that person will be having all sort of knowledge. But it is an ample clear that year once the implementation of an act has not covered much ground. Now into this particular, whatever the act, now what happens, slowly and steadily new rules, new regulation has been passed. Till the time it is on 2009 only, but slowly and steadily more into the act, more provisions are not being added. But the thing is what, here at least you got the idea about it of benefits of an education. But slowly and steadily what it will be done, this part of also will be having more major impact. In order to meet the goals set by us, India must prioritize and invest in making the act a reality through dialogues and consulting with the key of stakeholders within and outsiders of the government. else the act will join the rank of yet another legislation which never cover up the distance between conceptions and implementations. So here it has been also been said, they have been given that if the educations will be having a prioritized, then ultimately we can reach a goal, and according to this the thing is what we can train, and for this the thing is what you can develop the nation as soon as possible. But to develop the act, the thing is what they needs to take a help of certain consultants, certain stakeholders also, certain outsiders, because with the help of this type of only the thing is what the improvements can be done, and with the help of an improvement the thing is what yet new differences can be seen to these provisions, and finally the thing is what we can recover out our educational policy more and more into it, where the children will be getting more type of benefits and they will be having more interactions relating to that particular type of benefits. Government is the largest provider of elementary education in country nowadays. Governments are there, so this part of elementary education, they have been more impact, major impact. Do we really enjoy the constitution provision for education in a democratic and socialist country? Whatever concept we have been learned, so this education does, it is having major impact, and thus the thing is what we enjoy this particular thing. So this is the questions, okay, and with the help of the questions, so that is where the questions that it has been said, the government is currently a largest way providers of elementary educations in the country, where each and every people will be having an educated. Now that is why the thing is what, for further provisions and further, that is right, it has been said about it, let us fight for the rights. Because of all this thing is what, if the provisions are more, if the policies are been more, if it has been scheduled more, so finally the thing is what, let us fight for this particular way of rights, so at least what, we can show certain kind of different type of policy related changes, and even the thing is related with education you can give an importance. Okay, so this is what we have been completed with the help with this chapter, okay, the rights of an education, the constitutions to it. So into this what we have been discussed today with the help of rights of an education, means the constitutions of in India, what we have been discussed. We have been discussed about the constitutions, what are the constitutions, the secular justice, where the thing is a proper way of provisions, freedoms, each and everything was there. And according to this part of constitution, the thing is the certain rights have been developed. And from all this thing, the rights, the thing is what here, when we are into the chapter, when we are into the subject related to education, administration and management, so that is why the thing is what are the major importance, why this chapter it has been given to you, because not only you learn what is education, what is administration, what is management, but where this education word has been came. So that is why the thing is what, the education word has been came by the constitution. The constitution has been given this part of provisions, that was right to an education. That constitution has been developed that to give major impact for an education. Slowly and steadily the thing is what, the government has given different types of priorities, different type of provisions related to particular educations. Once we got the freedom, the thing is what, once we got a freedom, once the thing is Republic Day was been celebrated on that day. Why we celebrate the Republic Day? Because the constitution has been formed, and into that constitution the right of education was also given a priorities. There was so much of different rights, but the thing is what, currently we are into the subject of education, so that is why this type of priority which is given for the rights to an education, and certain policies, certain provisions for the minorities from the majority. Even we have been seen about linguistics, certain religion, where even different 22 languages related, the thing is what, the education has been started up. So at least with the help of, and the primary way of level was given for the mother tongue. If the mother tongue languages which has been there, so ultimately you can have a priority, the students can go and they can study also. So you see, there are so many different benefits and different provisions was been said for the teachers, for the pupils, and even the certain committees was been developed, certain local authority was also been developed, and then afterwards this even government thought about it. The thing is what, because the standard of the living was very low, now give the students certain books, certain uniforms, certain study material, certain aware of articles, at least with the help of this they'll be having the major impact of the study. But the thing is what, certain period of time, certain crisis, certain the textbooks are different, certain where the government what they gives to it, it has been different, because nowadays government don't have only related to this work. He is having so much of it, and thus the constitution has been passed. So that is why there are so much of different type of work here to develop the nation. So that is why the thing is what they have been said about it. To certain schools, you give it the this type also facility where what they have been said about it. You give them the books and all, and finally whatever the expenditures have been there will reimburse from the accounts, will reimburse by the governments to it. But the thing is, for this all the things you need to keep a separate account, and finally keep all the accounts related the details. We'll get in touch with that particular it, and finally we'll reimburse you the amount. So means, see, you can see so many different type of facilities what been provided. Even for the Anglo-Indians also the facility was provided. Even for a particular teachers, if there are this much students, for this particular student, this much teacher should be involved, because it should be taken care by this particular for it. At the age of 14 also they have been said about it. If the students, when minimum they have been said about it to start with the education from the 6 years till 14 years of age, he should complete with the certain part of qualification. But if certain crisis has happened, or certain things, if the children is not getting at the age of 14 years also, again the thing is what your provision is also being given to it, that the children can even take a admission, because there is not even any kind of school, the school won't be saying about it, we can't take this kind of children. But the thing is what, if the certain age has been already commenced, till means he has been already been there with the 14 years of age. So if this type of scenario it has been there, then give them the special training, because with the help of that particular training, at least their skills will be developed to there. And finally the thing is what, give them the other certain particular way of concept also. So at least what he'll be showing is certain kind of that way where he can represent the front of the people, and where the thing is what he can complete it out all sort of work. So this all the things are being carried out. It has been taken care of all such particular things about it, that expenditures for these children, because different protections and even certain committees are been also developed, advisory committees are also being developed. So this all the peoples are been involved, and finally the thing is what, education right has been developed more and more. Now finally the thing is, we have even concluded with the end of it. Even we have been discussed so many different type of sessions also relating to this. Even when the thing is the school, it has been developed, keep the buildings that way that each and every student will be getting this type of facilities. This has been also been discussed into the provision, where he can have the more and more impact and major impact related to the children. Because if the children will be getting more benefit, if the children are getting more benefits to the particular thing, then only the thing is the work will be done properly, and even children will be having more involvement into the educational part. So this is what it was discussed, and even at the end of it, like while concluding to it, we got a major rights related to it, that how the rights to an education word is very much important to the nations and even to the children, because from this only the thing is what, the country can get developed. At least it can come from developing, then finally it can be get to certain kind of develop. With this standard of the living of the people will be also being changed by giving them this kind of facilities. Now we have ended up with this type of chapter. Now we'll just go out with one more chapter, that is called a practice of education administration and management. Now how the thing is what, you get a practice. We'll go to that slide. Now here, practice of an education, administrations and management. Now already last session first we have been discussed about planning, organizing, directing, controlling and staffing the managemental activity, what it was conducted into education part. Next chapter we have been learned about the water, where the thing is what this educational and administrations and this managemental activity has been conducted by the provisions of an RTE, that is right to an education, which was developed into the constitution of an India. And according to this part of constitution, certain right was given to the educations and which was given a more priorities to the schools, to the teachers, to the certain part of to the parents and even to the guardians and even for the minority, to each and every people. The thing is what it was shown the importance of an education. Now here the thing is what we are into the next chapter, that is called practice of education, administrations and management. Now where the thing is what this we have been learned planning, organizing, directing, controlling and staffing. We have learned the managemental functions, even we have been learned about the rights. But how the thing is this all are been came? This all came by the practicing. By the practicing. Now how the practicing it has been done? Through the leadership quality. Because if the people who are having this type of leadership quality, they can follow all the thing, and finally with the help of this follow, the thing is what? The administrations, the managements can be done. So here the thing is what today you will be learning about it, what is leadership. Now into this chapter they have been given the major importance of a leadership, what is leadership, what are the importance of a leadership, why the leadership it is being conducted, and next part the thing is what here, what are different types of leadership styles are being seen, and with the help of the style the thing is what the management administration works, and how the thing is which is given the major importance related to this part of leadership quality. Okay, so today you will be seeing how you practice the educational, administrations and management. So how you practice, so by the help of the leadership quality. We'll go to the slides, because as we'll go to the slides you will be getting a proper way of information. Now, what is an introduction? Now, what the introduction says about it, leadership is an ability to develop a vision that motivates others to move with the passion towards the common goal. Okay, now leadership is what? It's one type of development of a vision where you can see the future impact, and finally with the help of future impact, the thing is what? You can motivate the people to achieve their goal. Now, so the leadership is a process by which a person influence others to accomplish an objective and direct the organization in the way that makes it more cohesive and coherent. Now here the thing is what, with the help of this leadership types of process, it influences the people to come with the new ideas, and finally with the help of new ideas and to accomplish their objectives, whatever the goals will be there to achieve to that, and directly with the ways to make more organization more cohesive and coherent, where organizations will be having certain new face, will be showing his new face, and with the help of this new face, he'll be having more and more influence relating to this particular way, and where the thing is the objectives can be built easily. Now here the major impact which has been given for the leadership, because nowadays you can see education management is an important, but how the educations will be run, how the managements will be run, with the help of practicing. Now how you do the practicing? By the thing is giving the leadership quality, and how you do the leadership quality, where you influence the people and you set certain goal for the future event, and with the help of the future event, the thing is the people will be having more way of interactions relating to this, and with the help of an interaction, finally the thing is what, the people you will be saying about it, and they will be accepting this type of leadership quality. They will be seeing the situations, they will follow according to situations, and finally with the help of this they will achieve their proper way of goal. So that is why there should be a certain kind of guidance to, or a consultant to a certain particular, where the thing is what he can look after with all sort of matters or all sort of particular things. Now, leadership, what is it? What is it? Now, according to Kuntz and Donald, managemental systems, it is being said about it, according to managerial functions, influencing the people so that they will be stream-wheeling towards the achievements of the group goal. Now, here the thing is what is exact, now you can say according to the Kuntz, means according to the author, it is being said about it, the leadership. What is leadership? Here, it is what? It's influencing the people so that they can stream-wheeling towards the achievements of group goal. Here, directly they have been having more attachments to the group goal, where group of the people are sitting together and finally their goals are been equal, and internally the thing is they influence the people at least with the coming of their new ideas, and finally with the set of the new, and they can achieve their objectives according to the requirements and according to what they have been thought about it. So this is what influencing people so that they can strive willingly towards the achievements of the group goals. They can, according to this, they can group goal according to the scenario, according to the leadership quality, they can sit properly, and finally the thing is they can come up with the new ideas, and as they come up with the new ideas, they can clear with their objectives. So this is also one type of definitions. I have one more definitions also. After this, I'll let you know. So at least what you will be seeing that kind of definitions also, because there are so many different types of definitions are been there. But the main exactly it is what to influence the people and to be into that part of it and to have major importance where you can influence and you can set with the help of goals. Analyzing of leadership effectiveness. Now, how you can say the leadership quality is very effective. So first, you need to analyze. How you analyze? Define and measure some criteria of organization effectiveness. That is important. You need to define and measure some criteria. Okay, if there is any kind of criteria are then, so how you will define, and second the thing is what are the points you can measure, and according to that part of it points measures the how organization is very much effectiveness it has been shown, so that it has been seen about it. Effectiveness, it is what you are becoming about it, whatever the work it has been given about it, you are showing with the help of certain new developments to it, certain new requirements related to it, how effective, how efficient you are there to that particular things. Assess the leadership style of organization leaders. Okay, there are certain organization leaders. So what are the style they have, and according to that particular style, the thing is what you follow that part of quality. Attempts to the correlate organization performance with the leadership style. Okay, now already organization performance and what are the leadership style, you both match together, and finally according to this part only you go ahead with the next part of objectives where you can build your objectives according to your requirement. This has been also been checked. I have one more definitions. Now definitions, I have two definitions here according to the different author. Now leadership is a process of social influencing in which one person can enlist the aid and support to the others in accomplishing of the common goal. Now here it's one type of social way of process. You can even say leadership one type of informal way of process where the thing is one person influence to the, from this one person the thing is what other person also gets influenced, and finally the thing is what their common goals are being also been set and they can accomplish their whatever both their requirements will be there. Leadership is then ultimately about creating a way for the peoples to contribute to make something extraordinary happen. So that is why now leadership is also one type of it where it influence the people, but the thing is what here the main impact it is what show something new into it. So that is why the thing is what this has been kept into the education, because into the education you need to show certain time, each and every time a different way of quality, the different way of well-beings, and you can come through with the help of new ideas. So that is why this type of quality which has been given into the education administrations also, that is why the thing is what to get influence with the people and come up with the new ideas and which you can set with to into this. And so that is why the thing is the educational management will be developing strongly, and finally the thing is each and every peoples will be having their own having their own goals, and with the help of the goal finally we can set up and we can come up with the new ideas. So this is one type of leadership quality, and finally each and every peoples will be getting an influence relating to this. So as the leader, how it has been given, the situations are been given, how we follow that particular thing, so that has been given, and that which shows certain whatever the ideas you generate, it will be an extraordinary which any person has not at all comments, and finally you are going with all through ideas and you are coming up with the into the organization, you are setting those ideas and which you can cover up with your objectives. Now, the four factors of leadership, usually you can say four factors. How the thing is the four factors are being kept. You are having a situation. This is a situation. Now you can see to a two-person. This is a situation. You can see there is a two-person. There is a communication. These two people are being communicating. Now, who is a follower? There is a follower and that is a leader. Now here you can see this type of factors related the leadership, it has been developed. Okay, from this type of scenario where the communications are being conducted, the situations are being there. Here there is a follower who follows each and everything. Finally the thing is there is a leader who, from the leader, finally the thing is he gives you the guidance, and according to the guidance the thing is what the goal are being, the both the people goal are being achieved. So this is the scenario of the factors. We'll see to the define also of this I have. Who is the leader? Now you must have an honest understanding of who are you, what you are and what you can do. To be a successful, you have to convince your followers, not your superior, that you are worth of being followed. Now here the thing is what leader will be that kind of person, he will be very honest, but here the thing is what he will guide to those follower, and follower will be also guide, and follower will be also getting all the information from the leaders, because from this only the thing is what he can come up with the new ideas. Here the relationship, it won't be like that from the superior, but the thing is what he'll be getting an ideas, he'll come up with an ideas, and from this part of an idea finally he can develop with the new point. Now who is a follower? You must know your people. The fundamental starting point is having the good understanding of human nature. That is an important. Follower is a word like to whom you are following, from whose guidelines you are taking, and finally you are following. So first you need to have a good way of the understanding between the both the people, because then only you can come up with the new ideas. Such the needs, emotions and motivation, because from this only followers the thing is what your needs you will be getting to know, emotions you will be getting, and finally the motivations you will be getting, because from this only the thing is the qualities are being developed, and finally with the help of this type of only different type of styles, the thing is you can come up with the new way of conversation. I have one more meaning of this. Communication and situations. Now communication is what? The non-verbal communication is least. Now usually you can see in the previous picture also what I have been shown you. There was the two people. Okay, there was just to communicate. So it is just a non-verbal way of tone. For example, according to this, they are leading according to the non-verbal way of communication. When you set an example that communicates to your people that you would not ask them to perform anything that you would not be willing to do. Bad communication harms the relationship between leaders and employee. Now what happens, certain period of time the communication should be that way where no barrier should be developed, or else the thing is the communication should be easily being communicated, because if certain words are that way, so it creates it doesn't create a good impressions to the people. So the leaders and followers will be having the bias relating to this part of it. So that is why this thing should be been taken care whenever the communications are been done. A proper way and clear cut way of communication should be done. Situation, you must use our judgments to decide the best course of action, and the leadership style needed for each situation. What we do in one situation will not always work into another. So your situation, it is what how you when you have a talk, when you have a communication, so you talk according to the situational wise. You give the judgments according to situational wise, but you give the situation is not same every time. So that is why the thing is what, when related to this part also management, you need to take care about it. If into the educational system, if the teachers, because all teachers, all human beings are not same. All are human beings, but the thing is what, all are not same. Their wants, needs, behave, their ideas, views, perceptions, thoughts are all different. So that is why for this teacher I'm using this way of techniques, so I can't use this only techniques for the other teacher, because the understanding should be there, the way of movement should be there, because from here only I am a leader and finally they people are followers to us. So that is why if that conversation will be there to this, so according to this I need to go. For example, even for the children also, all the children, if I have a 40 children, so all the 40 children are not same. But the thing is what, the teacher will be the teacher should know each and every children properly. So according to this he can give the guidelines to each and every. There is a communication, but according to the situations, the thing is what, she needs to see each and every teacher properly and accurately, and according to this he can pass the sentences to this and communicate according to that part of it. So that part of leadership quality should be also developed, and according to this can give the proper way of judgments to this. So this Situations, okay, followers, you have a situation, followers, and communications. The different types of points, the four different types of factors, what we have been seeing about it previously. What it was, leaders and followers. Next, we have been learn about communications and situations. These are the four different types of factors, and with the help of four different types of factors, we learn the leadership quality. Now, we'll see the style also. Now, style of a leadership. Now, here you have been seeing three different types of people you will be seeing about it. There will be the three different type of leadership quality. Then first, it's autocratic, democratic, and delegative. Okay, these are the three different type of, even you have a bureaucratic also. So these are the different type of the people style where the thing is the leaderships are being there, but the thing is what the leadership quality it has been there, but the thing is what they are using their style according to that part of requirements. We will see to it. Now, I have been seeing what is then first, it is one autocratic style. The autocratic leaders makes the decision alone as the power is centralized and is one person. Decisions are enforced using rewards and fear of punishment. It is abusing unprofessional style called as bossing people around. Now, what is autocratic style? Autocratic style, it is what an individual style. Here, the person don't go and ask to any kind of person with any kind of decisions or any kind of matters related. Here, the thing is what he takes his own decisions, he passes his own decisions, whatever I think about it, it is true and fair way. This is only will be there. So, it is an abusing to the other people because the thing is here the decisions are being taken to themselves. So here it is one type, it is called bossing people around. Bossing people around, you take your own decision, finally you pass it out. So this is called an autocratic where you are using only centralizing power. Means an alone power you are using about it, and alone power related you are giving your own way of discussions related, and finally you are moving according to that part of it, requirements how you require. I have one more that is called a democratical style. Democratical style, here it is what a participative leaders including one or more employee in decision making process. Here the thing is what into a democratic style where you involve the people to come up with the ideas and to share with the certain kind of points, and according to this let us be a decision making process what we can start up. Communication flows freely. Here the communication will be flowing freely. Suggestions are made in the both the directions. The suggestions will be done in the both the directions. The participation encourage the member commitments to the final decision. Here the participations, whoever the people have been participated, and finally this particular way of participation will be given the major importance to each and every particular way of final decision. Whatever the decisions have been there, they have been given the final way of decision making process, and even they are having the more conversation. So that is why first it was an autocratic. Autocratic was a bossing type of people where he only takes his own decisions, he only himself become a leader. It is like what I am saying, you need to follow that way. You have one more that is democratical where the thing is what all the peoples have been involved, give their own views, and with the help of their own views finally the thing is what the suggestions are being given, and from the suggestions the thing is what with the help of the suggestion finally the decision making process are being developed, and through this the thing is what the final decisions and commitments are being taken to this part of it. So we have learned autocratic and democratic. Laissez-faire, that is called last, that is laissez-faire means it is what gives the powers to subordinates to make a decision. Here it is what the superior doesn't speak anything, it is the authorities it has been given to it, they give their own powers, and according to that power the thing is they decide with their own. However, the leaders are still responsible for the decisions that are made, because sometimes because what happens, what they thought about the leaders also say about it, okay fine, whatever it has been there, let us pass. That is called the laissez-faire. This is used when the employees are able to analyze the situation, but when it has been used, usually the employees when they are into the long-term process and they know each and everything, if this scenario it has been there, so to be followed this way. So if they use this employee when to be able to analyze the situation. So employee when he being able to analyze the situation, then only he can give that part of answers. Delegated situations is generally not useful. Usually this type of situation, it is not useful because the thing is what had happened into this, employee should get proper way of answer, then it's okay. But if the employee is not given an accurate answer, then finally the thing is this situation is, it has been a laissez-faire situations where you cannot take an appropriate decisions and you cannot go with the situation wise. Now, the two dimension of a management, Now, I have a two dimension of management. The management runs with the help of these two different parts. Now, the two dimension of management, the management runs with the help of two things. Economic or productivity base, that is concern for the product, and second it is what employee conditions and morals. So here two way the thing is what the management runs. First it is what economical and product base. They think about it that the biggest concern of the product. There here the production concern it has been mass, and second part the thing is the concern of the people. It should be mass. If this two type of scenario if it has been there, then the management works. Means into the organization also, into the education and the administration also on that time, there will be proper way of production system, means a teaching quality will also been checked, and even parallelly the thing is what it has been checked the people also, because with the help of these two dimensions the thing is what the management and management administration runs to the education part. Now, they also been thought of it. Initial structures get it done. Consideration that the human condition. These are the two things. It has been thought during the management when it has been thought about it. Get it done. And second part, human conditions are being seen. These are the two different parts where the thing is what the thoughts are being changed, and it has been given according to that part of management systems, and it has been followed that part of systems also. Now, see, style of a leadership. See, already we have been discussed now. Consideration and initial means the thing is what concern about the people also, and second concern about the productivity. Both it has been checked. Now you can see with the help of this type of graphical way of techniques where x-axis and y-axis have been there. Both x-axis are being given in from the all four side. The thing is what the style of the leaderships are being covered up, and into this all the autocratic, whatever democratic, and third part what we have been learned with the laziest, with the help of three different type of slide. Finally the thing is what this type of considerations related it has been performed, the style of a leadership. See, again the thing is I have a style of a leadership, one more like concern for the people, and second concern with the help of a productivity. Now productions here it will be seeing, you can see benevolent leader, team leader, fairness leaders, and autocratic means your autocratic, democratic, then laziest, you have a benevolent leaders. These are the three different types of leaders which has been graded by X, Y, Z and L. These are the different where the thing is what with the help of this the styles of leaderships are being calculated. Now, which style of leadership works best? Now, first, whatever the four difference what we have been learned right now, so that four difference, which styles is the best? Team leader Z has proved to be most effective in general, 9 upon 9. That is C. Now, here you can say when we are learning about the Z, okay. Now, see, when related with the Z, you can say 9 upon 9. Now here it has been graded with the help. Now here you can see team leader. Now Z, it has been given 9 upon 9. 9 is to 9 means this way it is also 9, and then finally it is going that way. That is also 9. So finally this will be covered up with the help of properly, because here the team leaders will be specified according to that part of it. Balancing act of getting things done and having genius concern of the people. Now we can say balancing, because here also it was 9, this was also 9. So both the thing it was balanced proper, and finally the thing is what they can have more concern on the situations, and even for the people also they can give the proper way and accurate way of answer. Now into laziest involving leave them alone. Okay, usually they leave them alone because it is not proper. Since many main roles are as paths of information, let other make the decision. Basic adaptability responsible for the teams and the unit, means your proper way of decisions have been not taken. Certain avoidance it has been done, certain leaves have been taken. It is not proper and accurate way of leadership's quality has been set up there. So this is also given a priorities, which is less priorities. Autocratic leaders are usually what happens certain period of time less flexible, because your autocratic already I have said now, bossing of the people, bossing by the people means he's only the boss. I am only taking a decision that is true and fair way. If this type of it has been there, so controlling and demanding characteristics approaches will be there, and focused solely on the productivity. Here when bossing style will be there, so ultimately he is less concerned with the people, he will be having more concern with the help of the productivity. So that is why here the flexibility will be less. So this type of style which comes into the x-axis, that is an autocratic leader. I have a team leader based team leader. What we have learned, like balancing the product and people. Now you're balancing the productions. We have been seeing now 9 and 9 both it was equal. So balancing the productions and people issues, building and work team of the employee, team approaches that is involving subordinators. So means here you can say they are planning according to both the situational wise, and according to situationals they are giving an answer. So both the requirements are being covered up, and with the help of both the requirements they are giving out their views, and giving with the help of their views, finally the thing is what the team leaders are following according to that part of requirements. So this is a proper where the leaders it is being performed and the teams are being placed. Your autocratic style, now here I have given certain advantages and disadvantages also. What are autocratic? The leadership style already takes independent decisions. Now certain advantages and disadvantages are also been there. Advantages is what? Certain good circumstances such as urgent task. If there is an urgent task, if you want to take a decision, then this type of leader it has been proper. But where I am telling about disadvantage, it is what? Poor decisions, poor level of employee motivation. Here you are not motivating to your employee, your own self only you are running with the help of the decisions. If certain period or if there is urgency, then this type of autocratic style is proper. But if there is no any kind of urgency, so it's a duty of a superior to go and ask to the each and every people to have the proper way of decisions. But if disadvantage is you're not motivating to the people, and your decision is not accurate also, certain the poor way of decision making. I have one more that is called a democratical, the leadership style where a leader encourage. Now here in the democratic style, here the leader encourage the peoples to come up with the ideas and to show with the ideas. Certain times it is a good way where you can have a better you are motivating to the people better way. And second disadvantage is it is what? Certain period of time this kind of scenario it has been there, you are planning that your subordinators only will be giving more and more informations to this particular, but certain period of time delay in decisions and long consultants, so you are not getting a proper and accurate way of decision because it takes so much of time to be into the democratical way of leadership as if you are developing. Lazy as fair, the thing is what? This type of style encouraged to make their own decisions within the limit. Certain period of time only the thing is what? The decisions have been taken. No more freedoms for an employee. Here the advantages it is what? Laziest means you can take on your own decisions. So it takes a longer period of time. For employee it's a benefit. But decisions, disadvantage, few guidelines, little incentives, poor motivations may be mess. So ultimately into this lazier style, already you can say the last word it is what? A mess. Each and everything will be mess here and there.